Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the new team of the season, Paulo Dybala, to check out. If you are looking into buying cheap and safe FIFA coins, look no further than footcoinshop.net. They have the fastest service, an incredible loyalty reward system, and the best prices around. Use my creator code Inception when you sign up for your account and get a 5% discount with your order. We're taking a look at someone who is 5'10", high-low work rates, left-footed, 4-star skill moves, they 4-star weak foot. A lot of people are disappointed because they thought that this card would be given the 5-star skills. It's probably gonna be something that they do later on in the year when they do like footies and that kind of stuff, but it definitely would have been nice if they did give him the 5-star skills, because especially at this point in the game, it is very, very helpful to work with. But regardless, this is how he is formatted. Player traits. This card has injury prone, finesse shots, flair, outside foot shot, playmaker, long shot taker, and technical dribbler. So a couple of interesting traits to work with to see how that kind of performs in game. This card, we will be providing him with the hunter chemistry style, okay? Because on the hunter chemistry style, we'll be boosting his acceleration by a +2, but it's the sprint speed part that you want to be able to improve as much as possible. Why? Because Dybala is a high-low work-rated player. So because he's a high-low work-rated player, you want to be able to utilize the pace part of the card as much as possible, right? With Dybala, on a hunter chemistry style, he is going to be someone who has 99 acceleration, 95 for sprint speed, and then his shooting stats is going to be in the high 90s, mid 90s area. So that's obviously fantastic. Passing for Dybala, also going to be in the 90s area. A card like this is most likely going to be someone that you use in the cam position or in the left attacking mid position, left mid position for the most part, because of the way that he was formatted before. I've used Paulo Dybala in the past, and from his OTW version, it felt like a card that I had to use in narrow spaces, right? So we're going to see if that's going to be the case with this card. Dribbling, all in the 99 areas for the important areas, right? Agility, balance, ball control, dribbling. Reactions at a 96 with a 96 for composure. We do have to experiment with in-game on that unique body type, right? A card like this, you could technically give the Hawk chemistry style too if you really want to give him the extra physical capabilities. But as you guys know, pace is very relevant to work with in this game, so a hunter is definitely going to be a way more ideal situation to give him that pace and that shooting boost that is required for these types of cards nowadays, okay? So on the hunter chemistry style, it looks like a really well formatted card, except for the fact that he doesn't have the 5-star skills, obviously, but still looks pretty cool for the most part. So guys, we're going to get into some highlights. We're going to be trying him out in different formations, different tactics, striker, cam, all that kind of stuff. And we'll see how he plays, man. Hopefully he's a beast. Okay guys, so for the review today, we're just gonna go ahead and go through the clips of the stuff that's happened, because my file was completely corrupted, so I had to make sure that I recorded the last hour of the gameplay that I had. So yeah, we're gonna get started with the first clip over here, where we do win possession of the ball. Dybala is obviously in the striker position. We do tell him to make a run by pressing the L1 button. He gets through on goal here. We go for a chip shot. He does the dumb animation where he gets past the goalkeeper and nothing really comes of it. So we have another attack here where we lay the ball off with Paulo Dybala. We start to make a run in this situation. Try to utilize some space here and there. I go for a ball roll driven. It doesn't really work out. We get the ball back here. Go for a first time. Get off the drag touch, right? Try to work that left foot. Doesn't work out either. We have another situation here when we get the ball back in the left-sided area. We go for a driven, go for the croqueta. It's green time on the finish. Alisson does end up saving the opportunity. So we get an opportunity here where we do win possession of the ball at some points right here. We go for a driven pass. We get the ball through. He goes for the outside foot shot to the near post. We don't end up scoring the opportunity. Should have definitely gone for like a far post strike with his weak foot or something. We go for a finesse shot in this situation here, but you'll notice that when I try to go for the finesse shot, the ball gets stuck under his foot, which will cause less consistency for like a white time strike, right? So if we did hit a green on that one, it probably would have worked out a little bit better, right? But obviously the way your players touch the ball is very influential with the way that they end up striking it. So because we did end up learning that the finesse shot on the card is really good, even when he's like super off balance, we got onto a situation here where, you know, I try to work that finesse shot angle. Once the touch comes off a certain way and we go for the green time finish, you already know that Dybala is going to hit those bad boys. So we got another situation here where you're going to notice his high-low work rates a lot, right? So once we get the pass off here, we work with some, you know, situations where we can get some acceleration plays, right? It's very important to be able to work with that type of stuff. Explosive players are usually the best at doing that type of thing. This is another example of getting the ball stuck under your feet. I'm pretty sure it's this one where you can see that one's a little bit more stuck under the feet, so that's just going to be less consistent. The skill move that he did before, it causes more consistency for the time strike, so you can kind of time your strike a little bit better on the green, and even if they hit a white, they're probably going to hit it too, but you just have to come off of touches a certain way, right? So this is a really good moment over here to show you guys what the running animation is like, right? So even if we give the card the Hunter chemistry style, take a look at this running animation here. He is fast, but he's not as fast as someone that you've probably used before that has the 99 acceleration, 99 for sprint speed, right? You're going to notice that with the card. His playstyle is very based off of, you know, working with the explosive accelerator of the card. I put way too much power behind that strike. Working with the explosive accelerator of the card to work with the small spaces. That's really his playstyle. The 4-2-3-1 formations, 4-1-2 and 2s for the most part. I do end up switching that into the second game. So we get into another attacking opportunity here. And again, you're going to notice the high-low work rates, how quickly he starts to utilize space, right? So high-low work rates in that situation, great. But obviously our timing wasn't necessarily the greatest to get that goal scoring opportunity. So this situation here, I kind of want to work with some skill moves from time to time, right? Just to see how he kind of controls those certain situations. I try to work an outside foot shot angle there. It's more direct, obviously. We hit it on the green, but Alisson obviously does save the opportunity. So we have a situation here where a lot of jam was happening, where we got possession of the ball, a couple skill moves here and there. We got lucky. The ball kind of came back to us. We take a strike on a white timed. If I got the green, I probably could have scored it over on that left hand or that right hand side, but just didn't get the green on it. So we have a situation here once we end up winning the possession of the ball, where we just do a couple build-ups. DYBALA gets into a really nice position. We try to go for the near post left-footed strike. Probably should have tried to go for a nice little green time, but we end up not getting that opportunity. I think over here I was trying to go for a finesse shot as well from a distance, but obviously a little bit too far. But you can tell that he has that looped shot whenever I do take those finesse shots, which is obviously very, very important. So we get into a situation here where we do win possession of the ball. Nice little driven pass. DYBALA well positioned down the middle. We actually end up red timing the strike, and DYBALA ends up scoring for us anyway. So huge W there, to be honest. So we get a situation here over on the defensive side where we go for a nice little ball roll driven. You'll see his attacking AI really taking into effect in a situation like that with the high-low work rates, trying to get involved in that attacking space. We get possession of the ball back in the midfield position. DYBALA, you know, couple of left stick touches, quick L1 touch to face the direction of the goal, green time strike. Okay, so we have a situation here where we're just doing a regular build-up play. It was in this second game where I switched to the 4-2-3-1 because I realized that that's going to fit his play style a little bit more, work with that high-low work rate that the card has. In this area here, this is us utilizing a lot of the L1 dribbles to kind of open up the space. DYBALA, obviously, against the goalkeeper, we get lucky with the first initial drag touch because it pushes the animation out of the goalkeeper. But then we do the heel to heel for more consistency for an open space, and then we end up scoring the opportunity. So we got some pretty typical meta stuff here going on. You know, a couple driven passes, waiting for the space to open up. With DYBALA, we do the right stick flick backwards twice, go for the croqueta, space opens up for us over on that right hand side, and then we do end up scoring with his left foot. Another attacking opportunity here, starting off from the goal here where we start to push off to the side position. So you'll see DYBALA playing through the middle. His high-low work rates will activate on a consistent basis, right? Nobody, you know, he never ends up choosing one of the center backs in that situation. He sees the empty space, and we score nice little outside foot shots to the bottom right corner. So we have a build-up situation here where we try to switch the play for the most part, right? Ikone was open. We made a nice little pass here. Try to go for an angled body feint into a green time finish, but DYBALA ends up not scoring the opportunity. I might be going for a finesse shot in this situation here as well. Let's take a look. Yeah, so we do end up switching to him. I don't know if this one actually came off because... No, it might actually. Let's see. Yeah, that one was the one that came off the post. So we have a build-up over here from kickoff where we get the ball off with Spinazzola, go for a driven pass, go into the side area, quick little driven pass. We do that new skill mode with the L1 flick forward back, green time finish on his left foot, and DYBALA does end up scoring for us over on that right-hand side. So we actually ended up getting another area here where you know, he goes for a run. We go for that same skill move again. It beats both of his defenders. We're all the way at the bottom side of the 18-yard box. We try to go for a green time finish to the right side, but obviously we end up missing the entire net. Not a super high percentage strike in that area, but it's good to try out, you know? So another situation here from the build up in a 4-2-3-1. Space starts to open for us through the middle. First time touch, first time strike. DYBALA scores without needing a green. So obviously a W there. A card like this being used on that left hand side for left attacking mid, left striker could be a very ideal situation for those types of consistent opportunities, right? So we have possession of the ball over here. You know, I do a couple of flick ups with DYBALA to try to avoid the opposition players. I go for a long distance strikes on a green time. And my commentary during that time period, I was like, I have to try to get the... I have to try to get like the looped shots, right? Even on a power strike, you really want that loop to come off. But regardless, you know, we get into a nice little finesse shot opportunity on a white timed. Goalkeeper ends up saving it, and we were offside from the deflection. So another situation here where we win possession of the ball. DYBALA obviously starts to make some plays down the middle. Quickness when it came to the dribbling in certain positions. I want you guys to notice though, right? So his left stick dribbling from his animations that you guys can see yourself, he doesn't left stick like Messi or Bernardo Silva. It's not responsive like that. There is a little bit of a physical element behind it, but not in like a terrible way, right? I'm just letting you know that from his dribbling stats, it's not going to be super responsive like the Bernardo Silva or the Messi. Like those guys are like with your controller, it's insane how responsive they are with that left stick on the card. But yeah, we get into another situation here at DYBALA, try to work some space. He doesn't commit to me. We go for the accelerated touch, obviously very effective in this game. We go for a green time over on the right hand side. Goalkeeper ends up saving it. Might go for another finesse shot here if presented with the opportunity, but the guy was standing there, and we do go for a green, but the goalkeeper well positioned to receive that one. So this is the thing with consistency and trying to hit your greens, right? Like you'll get into situations like this where, you know, you get the pass off, go for a croqueta, accelerated touch. If you don't hit the green, he's not going to hit it directly to that right hand side. If I hit the green, I feel like I could potentially actually score that opportunity with DYBALA, but we don't, right? So we have another typical meta goal in this game. We got pretty lucky in this situation, obviously. With DYBALA, we have the ball through the middle. We lay the ball off. We go for a pass directly into the defender. It goes through his legs. We go for the typical L1 croqueta, green time finish on his left-hand side. And you could see that he hits it more directly to that right-hand side because of the fact that we greened it, right? Always important to work with that variable, no matter what player you're using, right? So we actually end up getting an interesting situation here because we go for a pass that doesn't make sense for it to work, but it does. We go for a finesse shot, but those finesse shots are way too close to the middle for that consistent loop to pop off, right? Regardless of that situation happening, we push over to the right-hand side. We get the ball at DYBALA. Nice little roulette. Accelerate touch with the R trigger, and then the rest I just use left stick to dribble slowly with him because the goalie will react to it anyways if given a certain situation. Okay guys, so again, I apologize for the format being different for the video, but I don't think you guys mind this format, honestly. I think you guys are totally cool with it. Okay, listen. With Paulo DYBALA in game, guys, I enjoy using this card a lot. Okay, here's the thing. He's left-footed. Left-footed by itself already adds a lot of variables to work with. You know, cam position, right wing, striker, center forward, very good position changes, all right? Because having a left foot player in this game, there's not that many to go by that are actually pretty decent, okay? So with DYBALA, guys, in the first game, I realized it right away, especially because of the fact that I used his OTW for that Argentina video back in the day, and I had a really good feeling of what the card is like in game, okay? So for me personally, it's a card you got to use in like those narrow formations, right? Really quick build-up play, utilizing the explosive accelerator of the card, because with Paulo DYBALA, a few things you're going to notice, right? So obviously with his pace, when you give him the Hunter chemistry style, I feel like but this card on a 95 sprint speed, when it comes to the pace part of the card, you're going to notice that it's not going to feel super fast on the sprint, but it's still going to be good enough, right? It works really well for him on that explosive because you'll notice it on the attacking AI part of it, that boosting the acceleration and sprint speed on the high-low work rate is a very vital thing to work with, okay? You guys notice that quick movement that he was doing on a consistent basis. That's what you want out of DYBALA's card, okay? Now, his dribbling, we have to mention his dribbling, okay? So his dribbling is good, But with the stats that he has, it kind of gives you the idea that, oh, he's going to dribble like Messi or Bernardo Silva. No, those two cards still have better left stick dribbling than this card does, okay? In my opinion, DYBALA has a little bit of a physical element to it, but not enough for you to really hate the card. It's still perfectly fine to work with. It's not physical element like Lacazette's physical element, okay? Lacazette really feels like an average body type. DYBALA's not on the average body type flex. It just feels a little bit further away from like the lean, right? But obviously the dribbling stats being added to the card with the 99s, it compensates really well for it, and it's still perfectly fine to work with, guys, okay? I'm just letting you know that it's not like a Messi Bernardo type of responsiveness, but it's still very, very good, okay? Yeah, like that's the key things though, man. Like because the 84 stamina as well, this card is genuinely best utilized in the cam position, bro. He has that specific movement. Like I was using him with Lukaku, and it was really fun to work with because DYBALA working off of Lukaku's like target man but push forward kind of play style because of that high-low work rate that he has, it's really, really fun to work with. And that general build-up play was really, really cool, right? So with Lukaku having the 5-star weak foot, left foot on the left side or whatever is great too, because if I want to switch to like a 4-4-2 and make my build up narrow in that 4-4-2 as well, because you can set up your 4-4-2 to do that as well, depending on your tactics. You know, DYBALA over on that left-hand side would be really sick with Lukaku on that right hand, you know, just stuff like that. But I'm telling you, man, he's best utilized in those narrows like a 5-2-1-2, 4-2-3-1 narrow, 4-1-2-2. That's where you're gonna best utilize this card. Even a 4-3-2-1, if the buildup is like really close together, you know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of setups that way with the 4-3-2-1 with the stay central getting behind, which DYBALA would be really solid at doing, right? So yeah, great card. Really, really nice to use. Obviously, it's a shame that he didn't get his 5-star skill moves, but he's definitely really cool. Tier list wise, it's not going to be like me saying like a Lukaku A tier. Like Lukaku is a strict A tier. DYBALA is top tier A tier, low tier S tier. Like it's a combination of those two. And once we do that tier list, right, that's where I would put DYBALA's card. But yeah, absolutely fantastic to use. Obviously, if you pack him, use him in the ways that I'm telling you guys, he's going to be great to use, man. Those finesse shots, get some greens on those bad boys, and he's nuts at them. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy this video today. I'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.